All right. Good morning, everyone. I know nobody's listening just yet, but maybe eventually we'll have some people tune in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to National Signing Day for 2021, National Signing Day number one here in December. Might be the last. There's legislation apparently in the NCAA to get rid of this early signing period. So we are here, and we're going to be here in and out for the next several hours for you recruit nuts out there. Those who are up and getting about early to take in all the activities in recruiting on this National Signing Day. I figure we're going to be up anyway. We might as well be here doing some stuff live as things are happening. And so we're coming to you from the home office, and we're going to be here on our stream channels. Oh, I should probably plug in my microphone. There we go. I was wondering why I wasn't hearing myself. So we're going to be here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There we go. All right. So we're going to be here throughout the morning. We'll drop in and out, take a break here and there for a couple of minutes just to rest the brain. But we're going to be here to deliver the news as things are happening this morning on National Signing Day, and looking forward to it as always. Like I said, we're up anyway, so I figure we might as well do some kind of a live stream to give us a presence here for Sports Talk and the Sports Talk Media Network on National Signing Day. And you can shoot us a comment or a question, and we will answer those for you as they come in here over the next little while. And tell a friend, spread the news that we're here doing this. So it's coming up on 7 o'clock, and that's when the first of the signed letters of intent can be received at the various schools. And what we'll be doing is telling you as they come in. And, of course, we'll be tweeting that stuff out and updating them on our website as well, sportstalksc.com. And this is going to be very informal, not like a regular sports talk show. Nothing fancy here, just chit-chatting about recruiting and the developments of the day. And interesting how things are wrapping up, at least for now, for South Carolina and Clemson. South Carolina with a lot of momentum going into today's National Signing Day with the two commitments yesterday from the Columbia area kids, Xavier Story from Chapin and DQ Smith from Spring Valley. A couple of local talents, a couple of guys, that aren't going to really move the needle for them. In terms of what you might want to call recruiting points, the star ratings and all that kind of stuff. But, you're not going to make a mistake with players like that as far as them being good soldiers for you, being good teammates and being contributors in your program, maybe in a big way. Look, South Carolina needs help at receiver. They need guys who can run routes and block and catch the football at wide receiver. And Story can, certainly do that. And then Smith is a terrific athlete, quarterback, safety. They like him as safety. For the longest time, he wanted to play quarterback exclusively in college. And but at the very end here, he decided to go with the Gamecocks and follow their suggestion that he focus on being a safety. Now, we spoke with his coach last night, Robin Bacon, over at Spring Valley. And, he says he's a wonderful kid, great leader, hard worker, and very tough, and, driven to win. So sounds like a great pickup for South Carolina there. And so you wonder who's going to be the first to get their letter of intent into their respective schools. I wonder how – I've always wondered if they designate somebody to do that, to carry that honor of being the first in on signing day. That's something that, I'm sure within the signing class, kids talk about being the first to get the paper in, being the first one signed. It's not really paper anymore. I'm still kind of stuck in the past, Mr. Dinosaur here. They don't fax them in anymore. Now it's all done by email. So then again, I guess maybe on the receiving end, they do print them out. I guess they have a hard copy of that. So they should start rolling in with those LOIs here in the next 5 minutes or so. And we'll be just, what I do is just monitor the two Twitter feeds of South Carolina and Clemson, and of course nationally, because they'll put it out. They'll tweet out the signed LOIs as soon as they come in. So that'll happen within a matter of moments of them receiving their signed letters of intent. So let's talk about the two classes, beginning with the South Carolina, because right now the Gamecocks, with everything, the transfers and the commitments, I've got them with 26, and 20. Again, you have to account for the transfers in your class. A big question is like how do you account for them? When do they count in a class? And from what I've always been told, since all this transfer stuff started to occur, if you enroll in January or you enroll in the summer, then you count in that year's class. And if you enroll like in August, then you can count towards the next class. To me, that's my understanding as to the cutoff. And if you have room previously, you can count some of those back. But South Carolina, in this case, does not have the room to do that. So you look at this class, and the Gamecocks have addressed pretty much everything on their team at this point, and they've gone heavy on defense, which is kind of interesting considering the defense was pretty good this year, and going to have a good number of those players, I think, coming back. But I guess they felt like they really needed to beef up in a number of areas, and so they went heavy on the defensive side. If you look at the numbers, so you got cornerbacks Kawan Banks and Keenan Nelson, defensive end Brian Thomas Jr., and then defensive tackles Felix Hickson, Jamal Weiss, Demetrius DJ Watson, and DeAndre Martin. Don't hold me to the positions. Now, some guy I might have listed as a DT might end up playing defensive end as he is trained in Columbia. And then you've got linebackers, and again, some of these might end up being defensive ends. Donovan Westmoreland, Nick Manawari, Jayshawn Barum, and Stone Blanton. That's a good-looking group of linebackers for South Carolina. And of course, getting those last two, Barum and Blanton, Saturday, and when Blanton committed the other day. I mean, that really got the Gamecocks rolling this week. And then offensive line, you got Casey Henry, Grayson Maines, and Ryan Brubaker. Those look like, again, just going off their reputations, those look like good players in an area where South Carolina, of course, needs better players and bigger players would be on the offensive line. And they got a chance with these guys. Henry checks in at 290, Maines at 265, Brubaker at 280. And then your quarterbacks, of course, the high school kid is Braden Davis, and then the transfers. Zeb Nolan has to count in this class, and Spencer Rattler, of course. Rattler, of course, makes all the difference for South Carolina. He gives them a chance at quarterback. He gives them somebody with a track record. You can't deny what he did, especially in 2020 at Oklahoma, the year that he had. And, he didn't have from an outsider standpoint, didn't have a terrible year this year at Oklahoma before being beat out by Caleb Williams. He was completing 75% of his passes. He just wasn't getting them in the end zone and moving the offense the way they're used to at Oklahoma. And so they made the change. And, of course, Caleb Williams was a hotshot quarterback coming out of Washington, D.C., a guy that Clemson recruited. They wanted him before he went to Oklahoma. And then safeties, I have all these guys as safeties because they basically played that in high school or will play it in college. Anthony Rose, Emory Floyd, Peyton Williams, of course, Tyrese Ross has to count on the class, and DQ Smith, DeQuandre Smith. Again, don't hold me to the positions there. Some could be moved to corner. And then the tight end, Austin Stogner, big pickup, quality player. Ooh, it's now 7:00. Let the signing begin. Of course, this is, I think going into the day, unless there's a surprise, and with Clemson, I don't know what's going to happen with Clemson. Dabo Swinney may have some people kind of unexpectedly signed today. He does that on a pretty regular basis, and maybe they're going to surprise us with a signing or two of players that we weren't expecting today. We'll see. But otherwise, I'm not expecting any real drama. I can't think of anybody that either has been recruiting that has carried it to today. I think everybody has jumped into the boats, so to speak. And the wide receivers for the Gamecocks, Kylie Courton, Landon Sampson, and I mentioned, let's say Xavier Short. Xavier Short, wide receiver from Chapman, 6'1", 181. Three good receivers. Horton is very intriguing. He's a guy that played eight-man football at Clarendon Hall, and so never came off the field. And will he end up playing wide receiver for the Gamecocks, 6'4", 180? Who knows? I would think so, 6'4", 180. Unless he puts on about 20 or 30 pounds, you make him a tight end. But intriguing prospect there, considering his background is in eight-man football. And this is a pretty big step up to go from eight-man football to the SEC. But apparently he has the talent to be able to do that. Clemson, now, their class has taken a big hit with the departure of Brent Venables. Three key defensive commitments decommitted. Really kind of right now they've got 12 committed. I mean, they're all highly thought of players. Toriano Pride and Jaden Lucas, the cornerbacks. Jaron Kanik, the linebacker out of Kansas. Though I know there was some concern among the Clemson media folks yesterday, the people that cover recruiting. A little bit of a wobble there with Kanak, especially with Oklahoma. And that would certainly be interesting if Venables, if he decommitted and went to Oklahoma. That would be another blow for Clemson if that were to happen. Two offensive linemen, offensive tackles, Blake Miller and Colin Sadler, big guys, 315 and 295. Two specialists, Jackson Smith, they're giving him a scholarship. He was coming as a preferred walk-on. But after his official visit this weekend, he tweeted out he was coming on a full scholarship, and then he confirmed for us that he is coming in on the full ride. So he'll be signing. And then Robert Gunn, really big-time place kicker out of Florida. He did suffer a torn ACL this season. Got to deal with that. Of course, you got BT Potter coming back. So they're square at the place kicker. And then the safety, Sherrod Koval, tight end Josh Sapp, and then two receivers, Adam Randall and Antonio Williams. Of course, two excellent receivers, no question about it. Two best receivers in South Carolina this year. So, again, did I mention Cade Klubnik? I think I did. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback. They got the big-time quarterback coming in. So, again, you got Clemson with a lot of talent. But in terms of, each player is pretty highly regarded. They don't have big numbers in their recruiting class right now. That's why I'm wondering about what they're going to do today. Will there be a couple of more people added that maybe we're not expecting? Could be some walk-on types that Dabo Swinney decides to offer. Or maybe they've got somebody in a position to flip from somebody else. So those are the classes that we'll be watching come together right now for the two. And, of course, keeping an eye on the other teams around the state today as they sign players too. South Carolina and Clemson, not the only ones who'll be putting out signing information. And we'll let you know as the other schools report their signings as well. Coastal Carolina, of course, the other FBS program. Interesting for Coastal Carolina. I think they have what's today? Wednesday. So they play on Friday. I think this would have been a good question for Jamie Chadwell. I think they've gone down to Orlando. Yeah, they're practicing in Orlando today. So they're having to handle their signing day stuff from on the road. That's an interesting twist there to have to deal with. So we're waiting for the first signed letters of intent to come rolling in. You're going to see me if you're watching. I know it's not a very pretty sight. I'll give you that in the morning. Who wants to wake up to this mug in the morning? But you're going to see me leaning all over the place here and trying to read tweets and doing some typing and stuff like that. So we'll be in a lot of different positions here in front of the little camera as we go through this. And I'm tempted to throw out the phone number, but of course, there is no phone number to use. There's nothing to dial. But if you want to throw a question in, you can send us a question. It'll pop up here on our StreamYard stream, and I can respond to it. If you have a question or a comment, feel free to fire away. It's been an interesting recruiting season, to say the least. You give a lot of credit to Shane Beamer and his group for what they've done. They've seemed, just following them, especially over the last 2 weeks during the open period. Beamer seemed to be very organized, seemed to have a real good plan in place for himself and his assistant coaches in terms of going into the homes, getting the visits done at the right time, and really leaving no stone unturned. He really worked his butt off over the last 2 weeks to get every place he needed to be, see every recruit that he wanted to see. Well, except for one, didn't get in to see Antonio Williams. I guess maybe that was one miscalculation that he had, thinking that he could get in on the last weekend and get that last visit. I'd like to hear the backstory on all that one day, because, I mean, certainly South Carolina must have believed that they were in better shape in his mind than they actually were, and had the luxury of getting in there for that last visit on the last weekend to try to get the last points into him. But it never got to that because he committed too soon, as far as they were concerned. But otherwise, other than that, it seemed like everything went on schedule for South Carolina and for Shane Beamer and his assistant coaches as they went around and around and around visiting with coaches. Clemson, with the decommitments, I mean, you can't account for coaches leaving as you go into the live period after your regular season's over. Clemson came off the win over South Carolina, and they're feeling good. They got 9 wins and, feeling like going to go to a bowl game, have a chance for another 10-win season, feeling good about things. And then in just a matter of a few days, their world was rocked. Lincoln Riley leaves for Oklahoma, and then of course then the Venables movement begins, and then they start having the decommitments. It's very unlike a situation for Clemson in dealing with the final days leading up to recruiting, to the signing day. They usually kind of have things pretty much tucked away and don't have to worry about decommitments. Decommitments have been very unusual for Clemson over the years, which kind of goes back to the belief that when it comes to recruiting, it's and look, Clemson's got a great culture. We all know that, a great winning tradition going on right now. But with a lot of kids, I mean, that's great. That resonates. But it's more about that relationship. And it's more about that relationship with the recruiter and the and maybe the position coach than it is anything else. They want to they want to be with the guy that's been with them. And when Venables left, you had those 3 guys from IMG. I mean, obviously, they got together. They got together over time there and discussed it. And of course, the 2 of them are from New Jersey, and one's from Virginia. And looks like we have the first letter of intent in for Clemson, Josh Sapp. As they come in, what I like to do is take my little yellow marker here and mark them off. So stand by. So Josh Sapp is the first one in for Clemson. Just saw that being tweeted out from the Clemson. Let's see. From the Clemson. Let's see here. From the Clemson Twitter, the Clemson football Twitter. So Josh Sapp, that's a case where, of course, his father, Patrick Sapp, played for the Tigers. And he was a really good player at Greenville High School. He was a guy that Clemson kind of had on the side burner for much of the recruiting campaign. And then they offered him late, but they explained to him early on. And the same thing with Antonio Williams, and this is probably how it helped the Tigers in that they laid it out for these guys. They said, look, this is who we're going after. This is our plan. You're in our plans. And we're going to get back to you. This is how this is all probably going to work out, because that Clemson, just like South Carolina did, they had their sights set on Oscar Delp to begin with. That's who they went after at tight end. They went all in, so to speak, on Oscar Delp, as did South Carolina, and both of them came back. And so Clemson had a backup plan, and it was Josh Sapp, who's a really good player. Not huge. If he stays at tight end, I mean, he'll need to put some weight on. And I'm sure that he will in time once he gets into the weight room and gets to work. So he is the first one in for Clemson. Josh Sapp out of Greenville High. What a team Greenville High had this year, right? I checked in with Pro Franklin, the quarterback, last night at Greenville High, and he is not signing today. He's still looking at his options. And he's got some smaller options. South Carolina has talked to him about being a PWO, and I don't know if he wants to go that route or not. But again, he's not signing today. He'll figure it out here at some point. The other thing is, if you don't sign today, it's not the end of the world, though you do run the risk of schools kind of filling up and losing some opportunities because there's not going to be space for you at particular positions. Eye on him. Another to keep an eye on as we move forward will be DJ Black, wide receiver from Chapman. He's not signing today. Again, he's waiting to see what other opportunities he might have. He's got a PWO offer from South Carolina as well, but not yet sure if he wants to take advantage of that. Okay, so we got one in so far. Waiting for the Gamecocks to strike here. See who's going to be the first one in for them on this windy morning, National Signing Day for 2021. Glad to see a few people are up with us this morning, and we'll be here for the next several hours. Clemson will have a press conference with Dabo Swinney at 1:00, and we'll have that covered, and then we'll have Shane Beamer at 4:00, and that'll be in person over at USC. And we'll have that covered for you as well. Let's see here. I got a couple of questions in here. Let's see if I can get to these real quick. Let's see what we got here. Any merit to the Snead visiting South Carolina? Any merit to if you're talking about Jalen Snead, the linebacker from Hilton Head? No, I mean, he's going to Notre Dame. As far as I know, he's signing with Notre Dame today. No flip there. There was a little bit of a run there at him by South Carolina after Brian Kelly, or about the time Brian Kelly left. I think they were still recruiting him all along. You go back on that, and I remember talking to him in the summer and in the early part of the season, and I never got the feeling at that point in time that the in-state schools were making him a real priority. they had offered him, or South Carolina had, but I didn't get the feeling they were making him a real big priority. And so, he looked at some other opportunities, and he committed relatively early to Notre Dame, I think before his season, if I remember correctly. And he he stuck with Notre Dame. Now, when the coach left, he had a little bit of a time there where he was kind of thinking about things, but he always he publicly said, if Marcus Freeman, and that's who he was real close to. Again, we talk about relationships here. He said publicly, if Marcus Freeman is named the new coach at Notre Dame, then he'll stay with his commitment to Notre Dame, and that's what Notre Dame did. And Marcus Freeman and assistants came in for an in-home visit and pretty much sealed the deal there. And I think South Carolina, as far as linebackers go, I think they're pretty set with the three that they've got. Sorry about that. The three that they've got. Of course, Westmoreland, I have him listed as a linebacker. He could end up playing like, that flexible defensive end spot that they have at 6'2", 195. But, they still have, Barum and Blanton. I think they like those two guys a good bit. So they seem pretty set. They seem pretty set there at linebacker. Of course, Snead is he's a heck of a talent, Mr. Football in South Carolina. Sorry we didn't get to see him play in the All-Star game because of the injury. All right, we got the first Gamecock signee in. Braden Davis, the quarterback. Braden Davis, the quarterback from Delaware. I like this kid as far as what I've seen. Hang on. Let's mark him off here. Mark him off. I love to mark him off. So we can mark off Braden Davis. We can mark off Zeb Nolan and Spencer Rattler since they're already in. So Braden Davis is in for South Carolina. He was a guy that, again, I'm not a huge ratings guy and all that kind of stuff. But he was a guy that was pretty heavily regarded coming out of high school. And I'm just seeing a tweet. You mentioned Jalen Snead, just seeing a tweet from his coach about him signing with Notre Dame. So that is official now up there or down there in Hilton Head. Let me just get this done here real quick. There's going to be a lot of this as we go in and out. So let's see. Quarterback Braden Davis signs with Gamecocks. So, yeah, I like Braden Davis. He's got good size. They list him at 6'5", 195. And, I think he's got real good potential for the Gamecocks. Real good potential. Okay. Jalen Snead. I can't wait to get Jalen Snead. And Marcus Freeman has put out a statement about Jalen Snead, so that's all official now. Jalen Snead has signed with Notre Dame. Let's see here. We may have to. My internet is running pretty slowly up here this morning for some reason. So we may have to move to get better and quicker internet coverage because this is way too slow. Way too slow up here this morning. So why don't we do that? I think I'm going to put us on pause for a moment so I can relocate and get to a better spot here. So give me a moment and we'll get that done. Let's see here. We have made up. Jaden Lucas is in for Clemson. We got Jaden Lucas in the house now for Clemson, so let's mark him off. Jaden Lucas. Okay. So Josh Sapp and Jaden Lucas, one from Greenville, one from Malden, in the house for Clemson. All right, we're going to take a quick break while we relocate. We'll be right back. Haha. Sorry about that. There you go. Now you should be able to hear me. The mute button somehow had gotten pushed. So everything I've been saying, nobody has heard. Well, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything important. I've just been, well, I'll tell you again, Case and Henry for South Carolina is in, and Braden Davis for South Carolina is in. And for Clemson, they're coming in really at rapid pace so far. Antonio Williams is just in. Jaden Lucas was in. All the guys up in Greenville. Josh Sapp was in. And the offensive lineman from Greenville has his in. Colin Sadler. And Antonio Williams, I said he's in. Wofford announces Lathan McComas, offensive lineman from Ohio. Lathan McComas from Ohio to Wofford. And Jalen Snead, we talked about him very early. He did sign with Notre Dame. So that's all good for him and for Notre Dame. Now let's see. Let me get back here to okay. Yeah, finally got the audio. Sorry about that. Somehow when I was transitioning, I hit the mute button on the video. So you could watch my lips move, but you couldn't hear me. That's great. Russell says, looks like things are heating up with Theo Weiss for, let's see, Theo Weiss. Recognize that name. I'd seen him written somewhere. I think that's Clemson. Yeah, Clemson going back on some guys they've had a little bit down their board, I guess you could say. This is a guy I haven't followed very much. Let's see if wide receiver from Oklahoma, transfer guy. Oh no, this is for South Carolina. That's right. I saw this with the Gamecocks. Yeah, not Clemson. He's out of Allen, Texas, and he's in the transfer portal, I guess, at this point. I saw one of the write-ups about him and potentially move to South Carolina. I also saw, though, where the thinking was that he was going to stay with Oklahoma. May end up going back to Oklahoma. So I don't know anything more than that on him at this point. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right. Let's see here. Well, let's see. We have a locked up laptop now, unfortunately. My browser has locked up. Computers. Michael Williams, the defensive end out of Columbus, Georgia, is in for Georgia. Mentioned Oscar Delp is in for Georgia. Seeing some of that stuff pop up. Okay, here we go. Back to life here with the browser. Let's see what else Clemson's gotten in here so far in the last couple of minutes. See if anything else has come in. Their Twitter is actually behind. I've seen, I wonder if the Clemson website is updating things faster than Robert Gunn is in. Clemson's Twitter is sort of lagging behind in real time as we check that. Nothing else new in from South Carolina. Case and Henry's been the last one to come in from South Carolina. Let me go over here and check the Clemson website and see if they perhaps are putting things up quicker over there. Let's see here. Things are not moving at the pace that they need to move here with the internet. Not a good day to be slow. Not a good day to be slow at all. Yeah. Okay, so Clemson's website is actually putting things up faster than their Twitter. So Sapp, Lucas, Sadler, Wooders, Randall, Gunn, and Williams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some over half the class practically. Well, that is over half the class to this point. All in for Clemson. So let me I have to get caught up I have to get caught up here, so stand by, everybody, while I do this. More Clemson signees, more confirmed Clemson signees, and wide receiver Antonio Williams, place kicker Roberts. Gunn, they say, has a really big leg, but he has that knee injury he's going to have to come back from. Did I say Adam Randall was in the house for Clemson? Adam Randall, the wide receiver from Myrtle Beach. He's in. Let's see. Adam Randall is in, and Wade Woodaz, the linebacker from down in Tampa. Linebacker Wade Woodaz and offensive lineman Colin Sadler. Okay, I think we're all caught up there. Clemson guys. Need to get over here and check the Gamecock website, see if they're doing anything more than their Twitter. Clemson Twitter being a little bit, Clemson football Twitter being a little slack. Boys need to wake up. Let's wake up, everybody. Wake up. Nothing new from the Gamecocks. Still sitting on the 2 at this point. Let's go back over here to the video, see what we got. Yes, he's in the transfer portal, Oklahoma. Yeah. Thank you for that. The Gamecock's going to have to get some help out of the transfer portal at wide receiver. No question about it. And I see J.C. Sherbert here says Case and Henry calls him a nasty offensive lineman. Yeah, you need nasty offensive lineman. That's for sure. I think with today's quarterback centric offenses, you don't need the Anthony Munoz types, do you? I mean, those are nice to have, but just get some big guys who can get in the way and give your quarterback a chance. If you have that quarterback who's special, and in Spencer Rattler, and here we are, we're doing the dangerous thing, and that's assuming that Spencer Rattler is just going to waltz right in and be the guy at South Carolina. He might very well be the guy in South Carolina. But you give him a little bit of time, give him a little bit of protection with his arm. He's going to make some plays. Yeah, the Gamecocks are just showing Henry and Davis along with Stogner and Rattler as their signees at this point. Nothing else has come in for them. So they're holding at the 2. And Clemson is still sitting with the ones that I've mentioned already. Sapp, Lucas, Sadler, Randall, Woodaz, Gunn, and Antonio Williams. So Clemson is, right now look like short on numbers in the class. Of course, they weren't going to sign up a huge class to begin with. And things, of course, with the super senior, with the special year, with the extra year being given to guys because of COVID, the number situations are really kind of screwy, trying to figure out how much room you have. The NCAA is allowing 7 extra signees for the class, but you can't go over the 85. You still have to be at the 85, but you can, actually go, I guess, to 32. If the maximum's been 25, I guess you can go to 32 with the additional players they're given. All right. So we're standing by here waiting for some new action. I didn't say this was going to be exciting video. Okay. Never promised you excitement this morning. We're just here to chat about recruiting. Got any other questions? Here's another one for Coastal Carolina out of Augusta. And looks like it's Caleb Hutchinson, maybe. They're doing some fancy script, fancy fonts on their tweets. Looks like it's Caleb Hutchinson, defensive back out of Augusta, signing with Coastal Carolina. JB Chadwell, they got some video of him. He's got the haircut. Got the hair all cut off. Mullet's gone. That's 2 in for Coastal Carolina. And got one for Furman here. Caleb Lyons in for Furman. And I'm trying to see what he does. He looks like an offensive line. Yeah, he's an offensive lineman, offensive guard. They're not giving us any information. So let's see. Caleb Lyons, he is a offensive guard, defensive tackle out of where's he from? First team All-State, Southwest District. He's been committed to Clemson. I'm sorry, to Furman, committed back in July. Give me a town here. No, hang on. He is he's from Ohio, best I can tell. He's from Ohio. So I think he's the first one, might be the first one in for Furman here this morning. Let's update. Let's see. Clemson, nothing new to report. Everybody that's been in has been accounted for, and Gamecocks, still nothing new with them. Defensive back Devin Moore signed with Florida. Okay, apparently a pretty good pickup for the Gators as they try to put their first class together under Billy Napier. Okay. We've been on the air for 52 minutes already. Well, I figure we might as well do something since we're up anyway. And might as well share things as they happen. So I'm going to take a moment here and update our website. So stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting as I sit here and type. But when you're a one-man band on this stuff, you got to do it all. And that's what we're doing here. One-man banding it. One-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. That's, I guess, a good way to put it. Oh, no, Woodaz. Clemson Twitter finally has put out the Woodaz signing. Confirm Clemson signees. Okay. If you have any questions, be sure to fire them away here on the screen. Is Emory Floyd still with South Carolina? Yes. Unless something happened overnight, he'll be signing with South Carolina. Florida did make a run at him. I talked to him last week. He thought about taking a visit to Florida this past weekend. I guess that did not materialize. And South Carolina went down there to see him and got all that firmed up. So he's good to go. Would not expect any surprises there. Of course, you never know with anybody until the paperwork comes in. But I think everything looks good for him at this point. All right, got to do a quick little bit of typing here. So give me a moment while I catch up here on the Gamecocks and the Tigers classes for the website. And so South Carolina is counting Braden Davis, quarterback Braden Davis, quarterback Spencer Rattler, tight end Austin Stogner. I really like Stogner. He got great size, good hands, it looks like. Can get into the end zone. All right, let's see here. I've got all that done. Gamecock signee. This is 7:45. There we go. We'll do it this way and publish that. And then Clemson signees. Get these done, and then we'll get back to checking things. I may have to let the pup out. Winnie, do you want to go outside? You do? You want to go outside? We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, let me know when you want to come back.
Back door.
Go on. Go on. Go on. Go. Okay, we're back. Oh, we're just having conversation with friends here. The few, the chosen. Okay, what we got here? So for Clemson, we got cornerback Jaden Lucas in the house, and we've got offensive tackle Colin Sadler. Colin Sadler. Then we've got that's just one D in Sadler. Okay. All right. Okay, and then we've got for Clemson, place kicker Robert Gunn. And then for Clemson, we have got tight end Josh Sapp. And then the two wide receivers, Adam Randall and Antonio Williams. We have a new one in for the Gamecocks, it looks like. Stand by. We're going to tell you in a second, if you don't already know. Antonio Williams, wide receiver. Antonio Williams, publish this. Okay. Let's see. Most recent Gamecock just came up. Let's see who that was that's come in here. Looks like it is. I just saw it. Come on. Culture. Here we go. Kawan Banks is in for South Carolina. Kawan Banks is in for South Carolina. That would be the third for the Gamecocks. Banks is a guy that committed very early to them. Cornerback out of Tallahassee, 5'10", 170. All right, so Kawan Banks is home with South Carolina. And we're going to retweet that real quick. Let's see, recruiting. Cornerback Kawan Banks signed with Gamecocks. Okay. All right. I may have to get be up and around here to let the pooch back in the house. So let's see here. What else we got? See if Clemson's got anything new in here. Sapp, Lucas, Sadler, Wooders, Randall, Gunn, and Williams. The one still being reported by Clemson. Excuse me. So nothing's changed there with the Tigers. Status quo. Appreciate those of you who have tuned in this morning. Why not? Stogner, Rattler, Henry, Davis, and now Banks are in for South Carolina. All right. See if anything else is popping out here. Florida State's OC Kenny Dillingham is taking the OC job at Oregon. Nice day to let the people know. He's informing the Florida State players of the move this morning. That from Pete Themmel. So thank you very much, everybody, for signing with us. I'm leaving. Not real good timing there. Vanderbilt to Jaden McGowan. He signed his deal with Vanderbilt, the speedster out of Lawrence. Jaden McGowan. Let's see. Charleston Southern announcing a signee. Let's see who they've got here. Noah Summers. Is that right? Noah Summers. Yeah, here we go. Long snapper Noah Summers. Offensive lineman Ryan Wright signs with Charleston Southern. And I'll be right back. Oh, here's something. Peter Schuh. Peter Schuh, a PWO offer from Clemson. He is from he's a track guy. He's a track guy, but looks like he's he's a football player too. It says track out of New Jersey, 2022 track, but he is signing a PWO offer from Clemson this morning. Doesn't say he's taking it, but he is signing that. So obviously very fast guy on the track. Looks like he plays defensive back. Looks like he plays defensive back. 79 tackles, had a 106-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown this year. And a PWO offer from Clemson. Peter Schuh, Schuh. Be right back. Okay, go settle. All right. I think dogs are worse than kids when it comes to their needs. Ugh. I know, Winnie, you're not used to seeing me up here this early, are you? Once a year, more or less. Twice a year. I have to get up early to go to the Sumter Touchdown Club in November because they meet so early. So let me retweet this thing right here. See, recruiting. Defensive back, Peter Schuh. Let's see where he's from exactly before we put that out there. Schuh. He's also a running back from Montvale, New Jersey, 5'11", 160, Montvale, New Jersey. Rivals has him as a running back, but his information here on Twitter indicates a defensive back. Peter Schuh, 5'11", 170, of Montvale, New Jersey, has a PWO offer from Clemson. Okay. See the little things you find out by just being with us here on our Sports Talk National Signing Day stream. Stuff you probably don't get anywhere else, right? Not true. Everything's out there. There's a gazillion people covering recruiting now. Even people who don't cover recruiting are covering recruiting. Why? Because they get clicks. Clicks. Let's see. Nothing new from South Carolina. Still hanging with the most recent signees. Let's check it here again on Clemson. And the Tigers, after that early surge, things have settled down. Still the same seven. Front seven. The front seven are in for the Tigers. Front seven. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Devin Moore, receiver, signing with Florida. Good pickup. Georgia. They got C.J. Smith yesterday from Orlando, wide receiver. Very fast, speedster type. Big pickup for them. And then also they got let's see, who was the other player they got that was big time in the last day or so. They've had a nice they have a great class. Great football class at Georgia. Going to ensure that they hang in the top 10 for quite a while. Let's put 750 and update that. Let's see. Running back Kyle Parsons from Weddington, North Carolina, signs with Wofford. Okay, so another signing for Wofford. Okay, let's see here. I'll get this done. Any more questions in here? Let's see. Phil's Emory Floyd still a USC. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. Let's see. Appalachian's first signee is Ryan Berger. Ryan Berger has signed with Appalachian State. Quarterback. He's a good-looking quarterback. Saw him in the All-Star game. And throws a nice ball. Throws a nice ball. That's a good pickup for Appalachian State, getting Adam Randall. Let's see. Did that. Just checking to see if there's anything new here. Top 50 coaches. This is from something called Big Game Boomer. Top 50 coaches the players love to play for. Number 1 is Shane Beamer. How do you get that after 1 year? Sam Pittman, number 2. Interesting. Dabo Sweeney, 48th. This must be a Gamecock. Must be a Gamecock site. Seriously. How do people come up with some of this stuff? You know, really. Here's another one for Coastal from right there in Conway. Nick Del Grande, offensive lineman, signs with Coastal Carolina. It looks like he is 6'4", about maybe 280. No, he's not from Conway. I'm sorry. He's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Oh, it says welcome to Conway. Okay, out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He signs with Coastal. Caleb Williams signs with Furman. All right, and let's see what he is. Caleb Williams is a defensive back. He signs with Furman. Caleb Williams. All right. Kyle Parsons, we told you that, signed with Wofford out of Matthews, North Carolina. Okay. Here's another one for the Gamecocks. Grayson Maines is in for South Carolina. Offensive lineman. Grayson Maines is on the board with the Gamecocks. All right. Offensive tackle Grayson Maines signed with Gamecocks. Okay, so I need to catch up on my marking off here. That's the best part of the day. The sooner these guys are marked off, the sooner we're done. So Banks was marked off, and Case and Henry was marked off, and Grayson Maines was marked off. Okay. You really like the small group of offensive linemen the Gamecocks have. Clemson, let's see. Antonio Williams is gone. Randall's done. Robert Gunn is done. Sadler is done. So Clemson's waiting on Pride, Kanak, Miller, Smith, Klubnik, Koval. And the Gamecocks still have a bunch. They need to pick up the pace. Get this thing done. All right, so Grayson Maines, the newest Gamecock in the house. All right, I'll put that on here. I'll tackle Grayson Maines. I think I'll go into more details on these guys as they sign. give us something more to talk about here. Talk about their history recruiting wise. So Caleb Banks, I'm sorry, that's the wrong Banks. Stand by. Banks. Yeah, Kawan Banks. Caleb Banks was a basketball player. Kawan Banks, who signed with South Carolina, 5'10", 170, cornerback. As a junior, had 52 tackles and 3 interceptions. Headed down to South Carolina, West Virginia, and Maryland before he committed back on May 15th. And then let's talk about Grayson, Maine's offensive tackle, 6'5", 265. Headed down to South Carolina, Tennessee, and Michigan State before he committed on April the 1st. He's also a track standout in the shot put and the javelin. So that's what, to my way of thinking about the crazy world of recruiting and who's good and who's not and who's ranked and who's not. I mean, I go by where else could they have gone in the Power 5 world, in the high-level Power 5 world? And if you've got other offers that you could have taken, and I believe in these cases, these guys could have. He could have gone to Tennessee. He could have gone to Michigan State. Tells me, they're good players. I don't need star rankings to tell me that. I go by who else wanted you. If the top dogs are going after you and you could have gone to them, tells me you're a good player. Casey Henry, 6'6", 290, offensive tackle, committed to South Carolina back on June 26th. And he took unofficials to South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi State, Louisville, Georgia, Ole Miss, NC State. So he had a pretty good list. West Virginia offered, NC State offered, Maryland, Louisville, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kansas, Purdue. So he had a good offer list. So yeah, I think South Carolina's getting some good players and with good offer lists, indicating that they're upgrading, All right, let's see where we are here. I need to update this real quick. Update. And then we go over here and we'll do this so we can retweet these bad boys. All right, let's see if anything else has happened here with Clemson. Real quick, see if anything news come in for the Tigers. Nope. Still the sizzling 7. Sizzling in that they came in so doggone fast. Sizzling 7 in for Clemson still. And shoot these out real quick on Twitter. You got to do so many things. Got that done. Okay, and I'll do this right here. Looking forward to that basketball game Saturday. South Carolina Clemson up at Little John. That should be a good ball game. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Be right back. Had to get my my V8 juice on the rare occasion of the early wake-up call. I love a good V8. It's almost like having a Bloody Mary in the morning. Not that I want a Bloody Mary in the morning. Let's see what else we got here. Russell is busy this morning on our notes, on our questions. Lincoln Riley, he's saying here, targeting DJ Uyangale from Clemson to come to Southern Cal. You can't do that. That would be tampering. Now, how do you know that, Russell? Come on. Let's just don't make things up. But nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. But sometimes you people get too caught up in the rumor mongering out there. on the message boards and Twitter and all that. Let's see. Gamecocks are showing Kawan Banks, Braden Davis, Casey Henry, Grayson Maines, and of course Spencer Rattler and Austin Stogner so far. So I think we're up to date after that early surge. Things have kind of calmed down, and we're just sort of in a bit of a lull here. I see a Shane Beamer tweet. Shane Beamer. Let's see what he's got here. So he's going to be on ESPNU radio at 3, and then 3:30 taping an interview with Rivals, and then at 4 his press conference, and then at 5 he'll be on the Gamecock station in Columbia, and then at 5:30 the Feinbaum show, and then at 7 Carolina Calls. What, no room for sports talk? Huh? Can't squeeze us in? Okay, that's all right. That's just dandy. Let's see what else we just got here from Gamecocks. Nothing else. Nothing else new yet. Let's take a look at the Citadel. See what they've got in so far. Let's see what the Bulldogs have reported. If anything yet. Not sure that they actually, with the FCS schools, in some cases, they wait until February to get a lot of their signings done. Not saying that's the case here, but not seeing any announcements from the Citadel at this point. So they might be waiting for February. Let's check out. They've done Furman, and the D2 schools too. Tend to wait until later on in the recruiting year, closer to they wait till the February signing period. Let's see what Wofford's added here. Let's see what the Terriers have got. They're announcing some signees. So they've got 3 in. Lathan McComas, offensive lineman out of Ohio, 6'4", 280. Kyle Parsons, who we've talked about, running back out of Weddington, North Carolina, 6 feet, 190. And Reliant Smith Sapp he's from St. James High School, defensive lineman, 6'3", 201. 38 tackles and 4 sacks for him this past season. Parsons had 1,790 yards and 21 touchdowns. That sounds good. All right, so that's the Wofford guys to this point. Let's see who else might be. Let's see if South Carolina State is putting out anything on football signings. Of course, they're getting ready for their bowl game. I guess it's their bowl game. The Celebration Bowl in Atlanta on Saturday. We got Coastal playing on Friday, and we got South Carolina State playing on Saturday. State's allotment for the Celebration Bowl. They've sold out their tickets. We might have another one here for South Carolina. Stand by. Yes, we do. This is Felix Hickson. Felix Hickson's LOI is in the house at South Carolina. ST recruiting. And so we list Felix Hickson as a defensive tackle out of Jackson, Georgia. Defensive tackle Felix Hickson signed with Gamecocks. Okay. So that's another one to mark off for South Carolina. So let's see. Felix Hickson. Okay. He's done. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total for South Carolina in the house at this point. Oop, sorry about that. Let's see here. All right, so we need to go back here and add. Can we do that? I'll go here. That's the wrong one. Here we go. Felix Hickson. Felix Hickson. I guess I need to get caught up here a little bit on the Gamecocks, so hang in there with me for a second. Felix Hickson. Signed. Who else is signed here? Austin Stott, Spencer Rattler. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I misspelled Hickson, of course. We'll talk about him in just a second. And who else do they have? Rattler. I've got Zeb. Well, I'm not going to put Zeb in there. Grayson, Maine. Do I got him? No. Offensive tackle. Grayson, Maines. Let's see who Peter. Remember a kid named Peter Kikwata? He's going to Old Dominion. He was a guy South Carolina offered early. He took an official visit, but they did not really pursue him after that for whatever reason. I guess maybe they felt they had others that they liked more. Now, let's see. Did I put K1 Banks in here? No, they put K1 Banks in here. Cornerback K1 Banks. K1 K-A-J-U-A-N Banks. Okay, get this South Carolina list updated for 8-12. Jake Johnson to Texas A&M. Gamecocks had some hopes there, but he, with his, he got his brother out there too, transferring from LSU. But Jake Johnson is going to go to Texas A&M, which they've had a great run of tight ends out there. Yeah, but South Carolina got their tight end. So I'm sure they're happy with who they have. Jake Johnson. So that was some drama there for Jake Johnson. Wonder where the bro's going to end up. I mean, South Carolina is no longer an option. Of course, he's a good player. And he could pretty much have his pick of places. So Jake Johnson going to Texas A&M. Now the Gamecocks didn't get him, but they'll be playing him for the next few years. Let's see here. Tanner, thank you for the comment. Just doing our thing, baby. Just doing our thing. Appreciate you checking in. I wonder if we'll end up with 1 million views on this today. Probably not. Updates on Sampson and Anthony Rose. Russell, you're asking. Everything's good. I'm not aware of any issues. I'm expecting them to sign. Sampson did get a late offer from TCU right out there in Texas, but I think everything's cool. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Linebacker Jayshawn Barum has flipped to Maryland and signed with the Terps. Oh, that's not good. That's not a welcome home. What in the world? All right, just saw that tweeted. Oh, no, no. Man, that has to hurt. That has to hurt. Let's go back to this. Jayshawn Barum. Another flip for Maryland football. Wow, Maryland football. Jayshawn Barum. How did that happen? So they flipped the running back, Ramon Brown. Gamecocks lose linebacker commitment. Jayshawn Barum of Baltimore to Maryland. That stings. If you're the Gamecocks, that stings. I mean, his coach said all the right things about South Carolina getting him, and didn't see that. I mean, you never know. I think you mark him off the list, but for the wrong reason if you're a Gamecock. That one hurts for South Carolina. Really good player, apparently, at a high-level program. And well, you're going to have these things happen to you at the 11th hour, 12th hour, as this case may be. That's a huge pickup from Maryland. Well, they stayed in his ear, being right there in College Park. About let's see, Baltimore to College Park is what, 30 miles up the interstate. They probably played that card with him real hard. That's a big loss for South Carolina, but they do get another. LOI is in for the Gamecocks. Peyton Williams, safety out of Texas. He was an early commitment for South Carolina. He's now in. Let's see here. Peyton Williams, 6 feet 180 out of Rockledge, Texas. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around what just happened. Wow. Just when you think you got everything under control. I mean, I didn't see that. Did anybody see that coming? If you saw that coming, tell me here on the stream. I didn't see much, unless it happened overnight. I didn't see much rumbling about Barum flipping. I thought he was. Now, I never talked to the kid. He does not talk to the media, but I talked to his coach several times. His coach is a good man, and seemed like the type that once the kid made a commitment, and that's the thing. I mean, he went through that whole rigmarole with his public commitment. Of course, remember now, maybe he was going to commit to Maryland the first time around, and then he delayed his press conference for an hour and then committed to the Gamecocks. And everybody seemed happy at that point. Of course, you never can tell. Never can tell. That's a big loss for South Carolina there, boy. No question about it. So we changed that from USC to Maryland. Wow. Well, signing day surprises, they always happen. They always will. People get close to the kids and get inside their heads and get them turned around. Oh, we're already an hour and 19 minutes into this thing. Time flies when you're having fun. Brenda. Hey, Brenda. Virginia Tech. What do you want to know about Virginia Tech? Let's see here. Let me check Clemson. Sorry, Gamecocks. Got to check on them, see if they've updated anybody. Oh, yeah. Got more tires in. Sherrod Koval's in. Toriano Pride is in. And they're calling him Jack Smith, the punter. They're going with Jack on the official signing instead of Jackson. They're going with Jack Smith. Okay, so 3 more in for Clemson. Tigers are about done with the players that we know. This is where it'll get interesting. So Koval and Smith and Pride. Did I say Pride? And Pride are in. So it's Kanik, Miller, and Klubnik that Clemson's waiting on at this point. All right, let me get updated on these Clemson. Get this tweeted out. Let's see. Where are we? Clemson. It is Clemson signees. Cornerback Toriano Pride. Cornerback Toriano, who's supposed to be a very good player, of course. Toriano Pride. And then Hunter Jack Smith. Hunter Jack Smith and safety Sherrod Koval. He was one that did not waver on them. Sherrod Koval. Okay, got that done. All right. So Clemson now, Sapp, Lucas, Sadler, Wooders, Randall, Gunn, Williams, Koval, Pride, and Smith. All in the house for them. So give me a moment to update my main story on Clemson here. Clemson here. Excuse me. Cornerback. Pride. Safety, Sherrod Koval. Hunter Jack Smith. Smith has a big leg. Big leg. Let's see here. This will be as of we're up to 8:22. Yeah, that had to really sting in the Gamecock football office when they got that news. I wonder when they got word of that. Is that something that sprung on them this morning, or did they have a clue about that coming down? We'll see if Shane Beamer will answer that question if he talks about guys that they did not sign. You know, sometimes you don't talk about the guys you did not sign. Just the ones you get. Nope, another one's in for the Gamecocks. This is a good one. Stone Blanton. Stone Blanton is in for South Carolina. I like this kid. I think he's got star written all over him. First of all, he's mature. He's a leader, sounds like. And a very good player. Linebacker Stone Blanton signed now with Gamecocks. Just made a prediction for Tennessee, a player that's committed. Who is this? Let's see if this is a freebie or behind the paywall. I hate these paywalls. Why don't people do this for free like we do? Huh? We're not out there to milk you out of your money. We're just here to give you the information. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be done? That's how I was taught. Anyway. Confirm Gamecocks. I think let me retweet that in case I haven't already. Okay, got all that done. Need to start updating my notes page here. Commitment to the Vols. Choose who is this? Somebody just announced a commitment for Tennessee. Justin Williams, a running back out of Georgia, East Paulding. He chose Tennessee over Auburn. Okay. Tennessee's having a good year. As always. When does Tennessee really not recruit well, regardless of who their head coach is, you know? They seem to always recruit well. Let's see. Good morning, Lee. Phil, you are old school. You're right about that. This old dog ain't learning any new tricks, I tell you. And why not? Well, my thought is, if the old way works well, why change? You know, I like our way. Oops, sorry about that. I keep bumping into things. They are on vacation. Who's on vacation? Yep, Lee in Arlington, Texas. Good to have you. We've added a few more people. Y'all must really be bored. I mean, this is not riveting, okay? I didn't promise riveting. I just said we'd be here to chat about recruiting. And so you get to watch me smack a lot and type a lot. But it's the only way to do it. Only way to do it. Let's see here. Starting to wake up a little bit. It takes me about an hour to get the cobwebs out of the brain. Just wish my internet would be faster. Sometimes I think AT&T slows my internet down on purpose. All right, let's see here. What is this? This is my ST. I did this already. Now, nothing new from Clemson. Checking again. Oh, we had somebody ask us to check on Presbyterian, so let's take a look. See if. Wait a minute. Have they hired a coach yet? Let me think. I don't think they've hired a coach. Have I been asleep? I don't think they've hired a coach yet. So I doubt they've signed anybody. Yeah, I don't think they've. Hard to recruit players if you don't have a head coach. So let me just double check. I don't think they've done anything along those lines yet. They're in the middle of a national search. This will not be, well, they're not, they wouldn't be signing too many people early anyway. They'll be signing most of their guys or all their guys. Because I don't know, how do you sign guys who aren't on scholarship? That's the thing that confuses me about PC and their situation. They announce signees, but they don't offer scholarships. Go figure. All right, what we got here? Stone Blanton. Yeah, I was saying I like him. Good player, apparently. Makes plays in the right spot, physical. Okay, let's see here. Anything else that popped up here? There's the signs in Maryland. That's still. Nick Emanuary is about to sign with South Carolina. They're getting ready. They're having a little ceremony outside. Outside their field house. Here's another one for Coastal. Evan. I tell you, it's hard to read these things. They got this funky font, kind of like script. Evan, he's from St. Thomas. Now let's see. Let's go. Oh, Evan Crenshaw. Evan Crenshaw he's a punter. So Coastal signs a punter, Evan Crenshaw. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where he's from. Okay, he's from down near Fort Lauderdale. He goes to Nice High School. Big kid, 6'4", punter. Who else went to Nice? Question of the morning. See how smart you are. Who's popular that went to Nice? Oh, Lee, you're on vacation. Okay, I got you. You're on vacation out in Texas. It's good. Who can name a very popular football player who went to Nice High School? Let's see here. I'll give you a minute to think on it. What, Winnie? Why are you being so sweet this morning? Got the little pooch in here with me. What? Yeah. Okay, let's see here. It's bad new post. No, let's see. Post, all posts. Okay. Just waiting for more stuff to come in. Nothing is happening here right now. So I tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, by the way, the answer to my question was Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow went to Nice High School. Well, he was homeschooled, but he played at Nice. I remember Rick Stockstill back in the day at Clemson, recruiting him for Clemson. They were one of them in the mix. And he said all the kid did was go to homeschool in the morning and then go to Nice and work out in the weight room all day. So he got so built up. Worked out for him. Jamon Tapp signs with Texas. That's a guy a little bit from down in Florida, defensive end, and he signed with Texas. Okay. Let's see. Nothing else new in from Clemson. Of course, Clemson's only missing. Oh, we have a new one in from Clemson. Blake Miller, offensive lineman, is in the house for Clemson. So they're running out of guys. Offensive tackle Blake Miller signed with Clemson. Officially announced by the Tigers. So Blake Miller in the house. 6'6", 315. That's a big pickup for them. Of course, he's been committed for a while. So it's Klubnik and Kanak for Clemson. And people think, that Klubnik's going to come in and take over the Clemson quarterback position. What do y'all think? I mean, I know Uyangale has struggled much of this year. Seen him a lot. I mean, I thought he got better as the season went on. I have to go back and look at the numbers. Oh, we have another Coastal Carolina signing. Let's see here. Let's see. This would be Frankie Richardson. Frankie Richardson from Pennsylvania signs with Coastal Carolina. He actually committed them back in June. He looks like a looks like a linebacker type. Yeah, looks like an outside linebacker type. So he signed with Coastal Carolina. Okay. What about Chase Smith from Blythewood? I don't know much about him. Hadn't heard much about him. Chase Smith from Blythewood. Don't know him. DJ struggled with cover 2 defensive scheme. Yeah, Lee, I mean, you're probably right. He struggled with a lot of defensive schemes. I'll give you that. But he still showed. I mean, first of all, he wasn't helped a lot by his receivers. I mean, you go back over the season. I don't know. Certainly, they know the number. What they have on the year. You think they had 30 drops? Think of that big one that Shipley dropped at Pitt. We turn those 30 drops into catches, we're not having this conversation. But that's all part of it. USC lost their commitment. Oh, let's see. That's a big loss for South Carolina, I think. I mean, I was really looking at their linebackers as with Barum and Blanton in there being very, very good. And now you lose a guy like Barum. Jayshawn there Wednesday morning, and he opted to sign with Maryland. Okay, here's something from Kanak. I think he's in. Where'd it go? Dadgummit. Jared Kanak. Let's see here. I just saw a tweet by him, Jared Kanak or Kanak. Jarin, not Jared. Jaron Kanak. Let's see what he's got here. Jaron Kanak. Let's see. I thought I saw a tweet by him. Or maybe he retweeted something from somebody. Yeah, that might have been it. He still got Clemson on his Twitter page as being all in. He committed back on July 30th, so nothing new there. So that's all good. That's all good for Clemson. Okay. See if they've got anything more to report. No, Blake Miller, the last one in for Clemson. South Carolina holding with the ones that have been in: Rattler, Maines, Henry, Davis, Stogner, Banks, and Peyton Williams. They have not put Peyton Williams on their website, but they put him out as a signee. And Hickson. And Hickson's in for South Carolina. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, lots of drops. I agree. He did not get much help. Yeah. Turn those drops into catches, you might be singing a different story here. But it is what it is. Who came up with that expression? It is what it is. I like to have $1 every time I use that or people use it. Okay, on Wednesday morning when he opted to sign with Maryland. Barum was among the most highly regarded commitments. Keon Sabb's about to announce something. He just asked for somebody to do an edit. Who would have ever thought you could make a living out of doing Twitter edits for these people? Commitments in the Gamecocks class. The Gamecocks class announced his commitments on Saturday. On Saturday. But Maryland never gave up the fight and convinced him to stay close to home. Yeah, Maryland, last couple of days been good for them. They turned Ramon Brown, the running back from Virginia Tech, to them. And now they, on signing day, make the big splash. This is one of the big splashes nationally, I would say. Jayshawn Barum. Big miss, big loss for South Carolina. I guess we can mark off Tyrese Ross off this list as well. He counts against it. And Austin Stogner, can mark him off the list too. So, Stone Blanton, we can knock him off the list. So the Gamecocks are still waiting on Keenan Nelson Brian Thomas, Jamal Weiss, Demetrius Watson, DeAndre Martin, Donovan Westmoreland, Nick Emanuori, Ryan Brubaker, Anthony Rose, Emory Floyd, DQ Smith, Kylie Courton, Landon Sampson, and Xavier Short. So there's still a lot of work to be done out there. For the Gamecocks. So that puts the Gamecocks with Barum not signing. Barum, let's see. That leaves the Gamecocks with 25 total in the class. Barum not signing. USC now has a 25 accounted for in their class. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is anything else new here? Checking Clemson, nothing new. All quiet, looks like, on the Gamecock front at this point. Let's see here. Gamecocks put out anything more. I tell you, though. Oh, here's another one in for the Gamecocks. Donovan Westmoreland is in the house for South Carolina. Donovan Westmoreland has signed linebacker, 6'2", 195 out of Griffin, Georgia. Now, they call him an edge. They list him at, let's see here. They list him at, on their little tweet here. Well, I've got him at 6'2", 195. Looks like South Carolina's got him at 6 feet, 214. Did he shrink? Must have. I'm still going to call him a linebacker. Okay, linebacker Donovan West. He was one of the early commitments for the Gamecocks. Westmoreland signed with Gamecocks. All right. So that's another one in the house for South Carolina. Mark them off, baby. Mark them off. That's what we like to do here. Mark them off. That's what it's all about. Get them in, move them on. Get to the next ones. And then, of course, I mean, I hate to be Mr. Pessimistic, but how can you not be? I mean, everybody feels great today. How many of these guys will we be talking about in the transfer portal, John, 1 year from now? I mean, not just South Carolina, Clemson, any of them. You know, everybody gets excited on National Signing Day, and certainly you should. But in today's not stick around for long kind of world, the same guys you're loving on today, you'll be cracking on when they go into the portal, John. Let's see. Phil, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on in the next 48 hours after National Signing Day. How's that, Russ? What are you looking for out there? Let's don't talk in riddles. Tell me facts. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on. Are you talking about in terms of coaches? Are you talking about players? Transfers? I agree, Lee. The portal, John, look, we've always had transfers, okay? Nobody's opposed to transfers. We've always had transfers. but there was a price to pay, and justifiably so. And the reason there was a price to pay was to try to avoid what you've got now, and that is what 2,000 guys in the transfer portal, John, and how many spots for them? Not enough. The chaos. I mean, if you let how can I word this? I want to be careful. You can't let the I don't know what's socially correct to say anymore. I want to bite my tongue here before I say something that's not correct. Anyway, you can't let the players run everything. That's what I'm trying to say in a politically correct way. You're giving them too much power. You're giving them too much freedom. They got more freedom than NFL players do. So, let's see. I've signed it. Yeah, I know Russell. Russell says no school wants a lot of changes until the athletes have signed. Well, that's true. I get that. Well, you're expecting changes at South Carolina? Come on. I mean, I know it's a cold business. It's a cutthroat business. But with Shane Beamer fly around with his assistant coaches, I know you're probably thinking of Marcus Satterfield. And, I mean, would he fly around with Marcus Satterfield knowing he was going to fire him after signing day? He's not going to do anything until after the bowl. And even then, would he do anything after the bowl? I mean, that's just cold. And now you got a quarterback coming in who likes the system that Marcus Satterfield runs. That's one of the reasons he picked South Carolina. He wanted to be in an NFL-style, pro-style offense. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I can't see unless somebody leaves on their own for some other job, and maybe somebody's got something lined up. With these new coaches out there, they might be working on the deal. Some people might leave, but I don't. My gut instinct tells me that Beamer's not going to fire anybody. Period. So. Yeah, I mean, there could be some other schools trying to poach, but I don't think he's going to fire anybody. All right. Let me get caught up here. Let's see where we are. We got that. We got to get caught up on the Gamecocks here. So bear with me. So we just had Donovan Westmoreland, linebacker. Donovan Westmoreland. Okay, got him. And Felix Hickson, we got that. Stone Blanton. Did I put him on there? No. Linebacker, Stone. Wonder with Barum opting out and going to Maryland if that changes how they look at how they'll play Westmoreland as a pure linebacker. Yes, I got that. Do I have Peyton Williams in here? I haven't put Peyton Williams in here. Safety. Peyton. Williams, is that right? Yeah, got him. And so is that everybody? Casey Henry, Braden Davis, offensive tackle, Grayson. Oh, why do I have Grayson Maines in here twice? Grayson Henry. All right, updated 8:50 here for people who are looking for lists on Twitter. We give you that as well. Trying to be full service here. Full service. Okay, what we got here? Retweet this. I think at the top of the hour, we'll take a little break and then resume at about 5 after the top of the hour, just to freshen things up a little bit. Let's see here. Let me add another graph in here. It's National Signing Day for 2021 and USC. Design. Looks like Cade Klubnik's in the house for Clemson. Let's double check that here real quick. See if he's up on the. Yep, Cade Klubnik in the house for Clemson. Got in a couple of minutes ago. So the quarterback is in. Yep. Cade Klubnik signed with Clemson. You'll wonder the impact that he'll have right away at Clemson. Rodzilla, who is this? Let's see here. Where did the Clemson Twitter go? Yeah, you just wonder about what kind of competition there's going to be in terms of, is it going to be open competition? I mean, I know you always look for the best guy, don't get me wrong. But, you got an established guy coming back in Uyangalele. And now you got the hot shot freshman coming in. But I mean, is this a Kelly Bryant? Is this a Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence redo situation for Clemson? We'll have to see. I mean, best guy's got to play. Klubnik should have a DJ to improve, something he didn't have this past year. Hey, Russell, go enjoy your breakfast, man. Go enjoy your breakfast. Look for Beamer to hit the portal in the next week or so. Yeah, I would think so. Beamer will go to the portal for D-Lineman. D-Lineman is where Beamer will go for the portal. Yeah. I would say, and wide receiver, I would imagine he'd like to bring in another playmaker at wide receiver. Of course, in this class, you got 4 defensive linemen coming in: Hickson, Weiss, Watson, and Martin. And Brian Thomas, if you throw him in there. I don't know how many more you can get unless you're not going to turn away a player that can help you, a great player. Boy, that's got to be a real backbreaker, though. When you recruit a kid, you recruit him, you get him committed a couple of days before signing day. And I mean, look, South Carolina's, they're not the first ones to have this happen to them. But man, I remember the game, you live by the video, you die by the video. What is it they say on Twitter? The cute kids that aged well. Go back and look at the video of the Gamecock coaches after Barum announced his commitment. It was celebration time in the recruiting office and all that. And then what do you have to show for it? Nothing. Nada. But they did all they can do. And once it goes dead, you can't have access to them. All you can do is talk to them on the phone, talk to the coach, and hope for the best. Recruiting for the Gamecocks. The signees as they here. As they come here, as they come in. All right, let's put. All right, let's see here. I need to update my Clemson list since they got Cade Klubnik in the house now. Cade. You mean to tell me we're already 2 hours into this stuff? I'm telling you, once you get going and you get focused and you're working it, it goes fast. So Clemson is down to just one that they're waiting on right now, unless they got somebody else. Jaron Kanak, linebacker out of Hayes, Kansas. Assuming they're holding on to him, I know Paul Strelo from Tiger Illustrated wrote this week some concern that Oklahoma might have a chance to turn him because of his relationship with Venables. I don't know that there's any real hold up, any real concern, but until he's in, you won't know for sure. Oh, look, Chris Bergen wants to join us. Stand by, Chris. We'll get to you in a second, my man. We'll get to you in just a second. God, there's so much stuff going on. Yes, sir. Stand by. We're having a blast. Yeah. Let's see if we have any more questions here real quick. Time flies when you're having fun. Flips to Sign with Maryland. Okay. Vol, FYI. Oh, hey, Abigail. Are these really women or people using female names? Because we've had apparently two ladies on here, at least female type names that have and Brenda and Abigail. And we never get female calls. We'll take them. Anyway, Abigail Vol, FYI. Who's the Vol? You got to tell me more, Abigail. Vol, FYI. Yeah, Lee, you're welcome. Feel like the coach at Ole Miss says, follow the money trail. Come on, Russell. Let's don't be so caught up in conspiracy theories here. Yeah, Lee, I agree, though. Why would he choose Maryland over South? Well, you say why? Proximity. Proximity. Takes a, real special case of when you can pull a guy away. And who knows about his background and all that, what his situation is. It's like South Carolina getting Stone Blanton away from Mississippi State. Especially after you've been committed to Mississippi State for almost 2 years for baseball. The Michigan Wolverines moving up and getting any 4-star guys today. Hey, Tony, a Michigan Wolverine question. That's really kind of out of my hemisphere. So I don't know Michigan recruiting, but they're getting good players. They might get Keon Sapp, the former Clemson commit out of New Jersey, because they do recruit New Jersey well, and Michigan was one of the places he was considering. But I can't tell you anything new about that. I just haven't followed Michigan recruiting. But thank you for checking in. If you got something on Gamecocks or Tigers, be happy to share thoughts on that or others around the state. All right, so I need to get this updated. 9:02. Let's see. I got to do this real quick. It's National Signing Day for 2021. National Signing Day for 2021. And Clemson is looking to ink another highly rated class. Sorry for all the throat clearing this morning. It just happens. Like this. The signees here as they come in. So Clemson basically is down to just one more signee to come in. And they'll have all their prior commitments in the house. All right. Massive addition. Jacob Hood. Yeah, George is putting together a massive class. All right, let me do this. Where we at here? This is Gamecock 950. Do this. It looks like Sampson is about to sign with South Carolina. Saw a tweet where he tweeted at Justin Stepp that it's about time. So apparently he's getting ready to sign. Okay, got that done. Hey, don't forget to click on our digital ads on our website here for the Tailgater Cure Bowl in Orlando. If you're interested in going down there for Coastal Carolina, or the Myrtle Beach Bowl in, of course, Myrtle Beach. Old Dominion and Tulsa. Myrtle Beach Bowl. Hope they have a good crowd there. Need to get people in the seats there to keep that game alive. Okay, now I need to invite Mr. Bergen to the show. So let's get that done real quick here. He's anxiously awaiting the invite to join us. Let me just say this about rankings, recruiting rankings. You live by the rankings, you die by the rankings. They're nice to talk about, but you can't let them be the end all. You really can't. Okay. We'll take a short break here to regroup, splash water, and we'll come back and dive into more recruiting stuff today. Check on some of the other schools as well. Short break. Be back in a moment. Oh. You want to go out, Winnie? We didn't go out? Huh? Do you want to go out? You want to go out? Okay. Go on. Back door. I can't go out. I have to work. Go. Go on. Go. Okay, so you. Go on. Oh, wait, that's your line. Hey, fella. Hang on a second. Hello. Well, I can't hear you. Check your mute. Check your mutation. I see you, but I don't hear you. Still no. Do you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Yeah? I don't hear you, though. I see you talking. Think I need to bring you into the stream before I can hear you? Okay. Well, let me see here. I just thought I did that. Come on. I said. All right, what's the deal here? It won't let me. It's like it's frozen. God, my internet is so crappy. Exit solo layout. Let me hang on. Don't go anywhere. Well, no, I don't want to stop and restart it. Exit ban from kick from studio. You know what? Why don't you drop out and try and reconnect, if you would? Thank you. I'll wait for you before I go back live. There you are. Still can't hear you, and it's still not letting me add you to the stream. I don't know what the deal is here. You got any suggestions? No. Close. It's not doing anything. At one point, it gives you that little thing that says add to stream. Let's see here. Let's go back to that. Does that do anything? Okay. Stand by.